Hello everyone and welcome back to Next Stitch Designs with me Sylvia. In today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this very easy skirt. So for today's tutorial, I will be using this Natura Cotton Knitting Essentials yarn, and it's a DK weight yarn. In 100 grams, I have 150 meters, and it's 85% of cotton and 15% of polyester. And for my skirt, which is medium size, I used around 4 of these balls. Of course, you can use any DK weight yarn. You can also use acrylic. It's totally up to you. Also, you can use the color you like or prefer. So for this DK weight yarn, I will be using 4mm hook. You will need a tape measure, a stitch marker, a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, and these clips, which I love to use a lot because they will keep our crochet in place. So I use this a lot, and I got them off eBay. They were super cheap and they are very useful. So first I'm going to explain what we are going to do for this skirt. As you can see, I was using slip stitching and single crochet, so the most easiest stitches, but I was working only into those back loops to create this beautiful ribbing. As you can see, this part is slip stitch back loop only, and this part is single crochet back loop only, and it will give us this beautiful texture. As you can see, slip stitching here in this part from here to here, and then single crochet back loop only all the way down. Now this skirt can be made in any size and also any length, so it's totally up to you. So first we are going to chain the chain, which need to go from your waist all the way down, and the length is totally up to you. So you will chain a long chain and then you will measure. So my one is just slightly above my one is just mini one, as you can see, but of course you can go as long as you like. To see better on camera, I will show you on a shorter sample how to work on this skirt. So please check this video where I'm showing you how to measure your skirt. So your first measurement will be from your waist all the way down, and that will be the length of your skirt, as you can see in this video here. So you can go as long as you like. The second measurement, you will go all the way around, like so, around your hips, as you can see here. So when you have your skirt finished, you will simply wrap it around you like this, and just make sure, as you can see, that's my waist here, and you will wrap it like this. And of course you will stretch it a little bit, as if it's too loose, the skirt will fall. If it's nice and little bit tight, when you stretch it like this, only a little bit, then it's perfect. Just don't make it too tight, otherwise your skirt will be lifting up. So as you work, make sure you will always try it on. So I placed the clips here, and as I was placing the clips, I was always trying it on and see how many rows you need. So do the same, place the clips and keep trying it on. So now this second measurement I will give you is about 27.5 inches, but remember this is unstretched now. So as you work on your rows, make sure you will keep trying your skirt on and make sure it's a little bit tighter. So when you wrap it around yourself like this, as you go, keep always placing the clips and then try it on. So make sure it sits nicely on you, because if you make it too tight, the skirt will be lifting up, but if you make it too loose, the skirt will be falling down. So depends on your body shape. So just keep trying, and if it's not enough, keep adding the rows. Also, before we finish this skirt, make sure you have even number of rows. So when it goes like this, it means we have 2 rows. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. So just make sure before you finish, you have even number of rows. So now let's get started. I show you how to. So for my skirt, I chain 80 plus 1 turning chain. So as I said before, you can do it as long as you like, and then you can also decide how long you want your waist part to be. So I will show you on the small sample, but I will make it a little bit shorter so you can see better on the camera. So I will do this part the same, and then the length I will make a little bit shorter. So I will show you on the little sample how I work on this skirt. So instead of 80, I will chain 40, but you go ahead and chain as long as you like. So first we are going to start with the slip knot. Hold your yarn and like so, wrap it around your 2 fingers and create a cross. Go under this first one, on top of the second one, pull it down and twist your hook and release. And now we are going to chain the length of your skirt. Remember, I will chain only 40 because I am going to work only on the small sample so you can see better on the video. So yarn over and pull through. And don't make your chain very tight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and so on. So I chain 40, but remember for my skirt, I chain 80 and you can go even longer. Now we are going to prepare a stitch marker. So before we continue, we are going to add one more chain, and this chain will be our turning chain. So I have 40 plus 1, or on my skirt I have 80, and then I added 1, and the 1 more is our turning chain. Now the next thing you will need to decide is how wide you want your waist to be. So for me, I have done 15 chains. So this will be the bottom of my skirt, this will be the top. So now I will count 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Into this 15th chain, you will place a stitch marker, like so. And now we are ready to continue. So this part will be my band, my waist part here, and this part will be the rest of my skirt. So this one here. So on this part we'll be working slip stitch back loop only, and on this part we'll be working single crochet back loop only. So I have 40 and then I added one turning chain. Now for this row 1 we are going to work single crochet all the way up. So work single crochet into the second stitch from the hook. So we are skipping this one and we will work into this one. Insert yarn over, bring it up 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through. Find the next one and work single crochet. And we will work like so all the way up. And once you get to your stitch marker, I show you what to do next. So continue placing one single crochet. Make sure your stitches are not too tight. And as you can see, I am nearly, where is my stitch marker? So I will do single crochet here. And now, where is my stitch marker? I am going to get that stitch marker out. I will work single crochet and replace the stitch marker. Always replace your stitch marker. So for this row 1, as I said, we'll be working single crochet all the way up. So simply continue to your last stitch. And I am finishing here, and this is my last stitch here. And now we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. For this row 2, we are going to start to work on our slip stitch back loop only, and from the stitch marker all the way down single crochet back loop only. So now we are going to work slip stitch back loop only into this stitch here. This one here, as this is the chain 1, so we will work slip stitch back loop only. Insert, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop you had on your hook, like so, nice and loose. Into the next one, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop you had on your hook, like so, nice and loose slip stitching. And you will work like so until you get to your stitch marker, like this. And where is your stitch marker? There will be your last slip stitch. And you will replace the stitch marker again, like so. Now we have slip stitch, back loop only, and we should have 15 stitches. And now from the stitch marker all the way down, which will be the length of your skirt, we'll be working single crochet, back loop only. So this is the back loop again, as you can see, back loop. So we have front loop here and back loop, and we will work single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, bring it up, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through like so. Insert and single crochet. The single crochet back loop only ribbing will give you this beautiful stretchy texture. You will continue like so, single crochet, back loop only. Once you get to your last stitch, right here, I show you what to do next. And I have only 2 stitches left, so I will do single crochet back loop only here, and into this last stitch at the bottom of your skirt here, you will always work single crochet but under the both loops. So as you can see, you have front loop and back loop, and we will work under the both loops. So insert your hook like so, work under the both loops and work single crochet and chain 1 and turn your work. So every time you get to the bottom of your skirt, you will always place your last stitch under the both loops. So single crochet under the both loops, and this way the bottom part of your skirt will be much stronger and better looking. So we chain 1 and turn our work. Now again you'll be working single crochet, back loop only until you have only 1 stitch left here in front of your stitch marker, because as you remember, every time you get to your stitch marker there will be your slip stitch, your first slip stitch. So we chain 1, we're skipping this one, and we will work single crochet all the way up. So work single crochet, back loop only, all the way up. Like so, and you can already see this beautiful ribbing forming, and that's how we are going to work for the rest of your skirt, repeating like so. So I will finish this row with you, and when you are 1 stitch before your stitch marker, I'll show you how to continue. So I have only 1 stitch left here, and I will do my last single crochet back loop only. And remember, every time you get to your stitch marker, that will be your first slip stitch. So now find the slip stitch. It may be a little bit trickier to see for this row, but the stitches, the V's are at the top, and we'll be working under the back loop here, here, and here, and so on. So don't get confused. So work your slip stitch. It may be a little bit tighter, that's why I said this slip stitching part needs to always be a little bit more loose than this single crochet part. So this is my first slip stitch here, back loop only, like so, And remember, always replace your stitch marker. If you lose the stitch marker, it's still very easy to find. Simply just count 15 stitches all the way down. So that's my first one. Into the next one. 2, 3, 4. Continue like so all the way down to your last stitch. And I have only last 2 left here, so slip stitch here, and the last one is always the most trickiest one. So this is my last one. Now here you can go under the back loop only or under the full stitch as well, but on this slip stitching part I will go under the back loop like so the whole way on my skirt, as you can see here. Now chain 1 and turn your work again, and that's what you are going to do for the rest of your skirt. So again, on this part here, until you get to your stitch marker, you will work slip stitch, back loop only. Where is your stitch marker? There will be always your last slip stitch, and from there you will work single crochet back loop only all the way down. When you get to your last stitch, you will work under the full stitch. And before we continue, yes, I got my rings back, and you've been asking about these rings a lot. These used to be my mom's rings, and I forgot to put them on, so now I got them on. Let's continue. So again, we're skipping this chain 1, and we will work slip stitch back loop only here, and you can see this visa on the top, and it may be a little bit more trickier to work on this slip stitching part if you work your slip stitches very tight. And now I have this last one here. Where is my stitch marker? And I replace the stitch marker like so. And from the stitch marker all the way down, you will work single crochet, back loop only. Once you get to your last stitch, you will work under the full stitch. And you can see the ribbing is looking amazing. And how to count it? When they go like this, it means 2 rows. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. So that's how we are going to count your ribbing. And I'm finishing, and I have only 1 stitch left. And remember, at the bottom of our skirt, we will always work single crochet under the both loops like so. Chain 1 and turn your work and continue. So you will work single crochet back loop only. And where is your stitch marker? You will start your first slip stitch back loop on. You will continue all the way up, chain 1, and work all the way down to your stitch marker, slip stitch back loop only, and then you will work all the way down single crochet back loop only. So I think this is a very easy to understand. So you will work on your skirt like so until you can wrap it comfortably and stretch it a little bit as you put it on, because as I said at the start, when you when your skirt is too tight, that will be lifting up every time you wear it. But when it's too loose, then your skirt will be falling down. So as you work on your rows, make sure you keep trying it on, and it should be stretched a little bit once you put it on, not too tight and not too loose. So just keep trying as you work on your rows. So now, once you're done with your skirt, I know, lots of work, we are going to sew it together. Now, you have two options. You can do this with the yarn needle, but I decided to do it with my hook. Before we continue, you already should have this stitch marker, and you should have 15 stitches here. So let me just finish here. This is my last slip stitch, and I will chain one for now. So I should have 15 stitches here, and you will also count 15 stitches. But on this side, as you know, this was our starting chain here, so we have only these tiny loops. So as you can see, we have only this bottom part of the chain. So we have here, here, here. So we will work under those, and you will need to count 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then you will place a stitch marker. Now you decide which side you want to be your right side. So for me, it doesn't matter. Both sides are exactly the same, but I am choosing the side where are my knots to be my wrong side. So as you can see, I have knot here. As the yarn had many knots, then I was attaching another yarn as well, so I made it knot here. So this is my wrong one, a wrong side. And as you can see, I have maybe a few more somewhere. So you decide which one you want to be your wrong side and which side to be your right side. So now fold your skirt like so. So this seam is like this nicely. So the stitch markers are opposite each other, and also the stitching are matching. The clips. I love these clips. They are super good. So make sure you have this corner, and you will place a clip. You will have few more, so you won't move as you work. So simply just place one here, one here, and you can place as many as you like, and as you work you will be taking them off. And these two stitch markers should be opposite each other like this. Now I will turn it like this, as I will go all. So before we start, I will insert my hook under this first loop, and I will bring this loop from the opposite side through like this and chain one. Now into the same place you will insert your hook, and you will find the slip stitch or the V's on the opposite side, but you will work under the both. So you have one loop on one side and the full stitch on the opposite side, like so. Just make sure the stitches are right opposite each other, like this. As you can see on this side, you have proper stitches. And you should have something like this. So now yarn over and work your first slip stitch like this. Now find the next loop and stitch on the opposite side, which is this one here. Remember, we're working under the full, so loop on this one and then stitch on the opposite and work slip stitch. So we have 1, 2, then I have third one here, and now I have a stitch here. So I have loop here and then stitch on the opposite and work slip stitch like this. Find the next loop and the full stitch on the opposite side and work slip stitch like so, and you will work like this until you get to your stitch marker.
And we are creating another ribbing right here.
And you could also work under the loop here and only the back loop on the opposite side, but I think because this is the seam and it should be much stronger, so it's much better if you work under the both loops like so. Loop here, then stitch on the opposite side.
So work on your slip stitching like so, and once you get to your stitch markers, from your stitch markers all the way down, we'll be working on a single crochet, seam or ribbing right in the middle. So once you get to your stitch markers, I show you how to continue.
So now I am, where are my stitch markers, and I'm going to get them out so they are out of the way, and I am going to do my last slip stitching here. Like this, and this is your seam here for slip stitching part. Now from now on you'll be working single crochet, but as you have noticed, we have only half of this loop. So on this side we have full stitch, and on this side we have only these loops. So remember, you work under these loops. So where is my next one? Loop here and then full stitch on the opposite side, and from now on I will work single crochet. If you want, you can still replace the stitch marker, but you won't need it, just to show you
where is our slip stitching part for our waist, and from the stitch marker all the way down will be our single crochet part or seam. So you will be matching the stitches on both sides again. On one side you will have only loop, on the opposite side you will have the full stitch, so you will work like so under the full stitch on the opposite side, and we have this beautiful ribbing right in the middle, as you can see here. So we will work single crochet all the way down.
And as I'm working, of course, I'm taking these clips off, and here on this side where I have these loops, you can also go a little bit deeper. You don't need to go only under this loop, you can go slightly deeper. And I'm finishing here, and I have last 2 stitches, And then my last one will be in the corner here and
on the opposite side. Now we are going to chain 1,
and this is what we have. We can take the stitch marker out, and this is what we have on this side. So we created this ribbing here, as you can see, and I think it's looking amazing. So you can choose if you like this ribbing on the right side, it can be on the right side, and on the wrong side it looks like this. So it's blending in very well, as you can see here. But I have my knots here, so if I decide to go with this side as my right side, I would just have to push all these knots to the wrong side, obviously, as you don't want to see them. So I think this side and the other side looks amazing as well, so it's totally up to you. So now we are done, and I must say this skirt looks amazing, and it's super simple. You can make it in any color. You can also add the belt, so just chain a long chain and thread it through. It would look amazing as well. Also, you can go as long as you like, and if you wish, you can just crochet some flowers and add them on. It's totally up to you. You can go wild.
but for this skirt I will give you 2 options. This first option will be simply just fasten off here and hide the end inside this seam right here, and you would be done. Or you can continue with the second option to make it more interesting.
But for the second option, I decided to do second option because I will be working on the matching top for this skirt, and I will be doing the edging on my top. So I decided to do edging at the bottom of my skirt, so on this part all the way around. But it's totally up to you because this skirt is beautiful already.
As we were finishing each row with a single crochet under the full stitch, these skirts got beautiful edging and doesn't need much, but because I want to match this skirt with the bralette I am going to create in the next video, I decided to do something else.
So for the second option, we'll be placing 2 single crochet on top of those 2 rows. So when they go like this, it means we have 2 rows. And on top, as you can see, is a little gap. In those gaps, you will be placing 2 single crochet all the way around. So that's why at the start, I ask you to finish your skirt on even number of rows. So for your skirt, you need to have even numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Now we created extra ribbing here, so I am going to, so we chained 1, and as we created this extra ribbing here, we will have to place 2 single crochet on top. So as you can see, it's kind of difficult, but we will do it like this from the side. So we will work 1 single crochet and 1 more into the same place. Now place a stitch marker like this. Now, as you can see, these 2 are our 2 rows, and on top, as you can see here, you will work 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2. Now you have these 2 rows, and on top is a gap, and you will work 2 single crochet. Again, we have 2 rows here, and on top is a gap work 2 single crochet, and you will work like so all the way around. So on top of those 2 rows you will work 2 single crochet, not too tight, like this. So continue all the way around, and once you get to your stitch marker, once you go all the way around and you get to this stitch marker, I show you what to do next. And I am finishing here, so I placed 2 single crochet here, and where is my stitch marker? I am going to get it out, and I am going to slip stitch like so, and I am going to chain 2 like this. So I chain 2, slip stitch and chain 2, and that's what we have so far. So I was placing 2 single crochet on top of those 2 rows all the way around, as you can see, and it's looking amazing. So we chain 2, but we will chain 3. I think it will look much better. Now we'll be working. This will be as our first double crochet. Now you will find the next stitch and you will skip it. Into the next stitch you will work double crochet. You will chain 1 and you will skip 1, and into the next you will work double crochet like this. So chain 1, skip the next, into the next work double crochet, chain 1, skip next one, and into the next work double crochet. And that's how we are going to work all the way around. So you will chain 1, skip the next, into the next work double crochet, chain 1, skip next, and work double crochet, chain 1, skip next, and double crochet into the next, and so on. So that's how you are going to work all the way around. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip next, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip next, double crochet. So continue like so all the way around. Once you come to your chain of 3 here, I show you how to finish this round. And I am finishing here, and you should end up like this. So you should have double crochet, chain 1, and then you should have 1 stitch which you are going to skip. And now we are going to slip stitch. As you remember at the start we chain 3, but we need 1 between here, so we will count 1, 2, and on top of this second one you will slip stitch like so. And now where is your first block here, you will slip stitch 1 more time just to make it nice and strong and to get you into this block right here. So once you are in this first block, we are going to chain 2, and this chain of 2 will count as your first double crochet. Now we will work 4 more double crochet into the same block. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we should have altogether 5 because this chain of 2 is counting as your first one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochet. Now into the next block here you will place slip stitch, insert and work your slip stitch like this. Into the next block you will work 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and find the next block and work slip stitch like so. And we will be creating these little shells all the way around. So into the next block again place 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Into the next block work slip stitch. And that's how we are going to continue all the way around the bottom part of your skirt. 5 double crochet into the next 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Into the next block work slip stitch. Again into the next block 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Into the next block work slip stitch. So that's how we are going to continue all the way around the bottom part of your skirt. So I have done shell here, then slip stitch into the next, and I'm going to work last 3 double crochet into this last here, and then I will slip stitch not on top of this chain of 3 but on top of this first double crochet like so, and we will create this last shell which will be a little bit bigger than all of the others like this, as you can see. And now we are going to slip stitch into the next like so and chain 1, and we are ready to fasten off. Leave a little bit longer so we can hide it later on like this. Hide all your ends and we are done with our beautiful skirt. I think it's looking amazing. And this is the right side and this is the wrong side, so it depends what size you picked to be your right side. So as this one is my right side, my shells are facing up like this. So we have this large shell in the middle of this seam like so, and this is it. So this seam you can of course have in the front or at the back, but I will wear it right in the middle like this. So just hide your ends and we are done. And this is it. This is our beautiful skirt, and I will be working on the matching bralette with the same stitching and same edging as I done here. So So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to like it, share it, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel Unique Stitch Designs for more ideas from me, Sylvia. And please don't forget to find me on social medias. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and TikTok. Thank you very much for watching.